Hello, my name is Jima. I'm a photographer, editor, and aspiring cinematographer. In this video, I'll be taking you behind the scenes on one of the shoots that I recently had. I'll be sharing about the cameras, the gear that I used, the lights, the process of creating the photos, and some tips on my editing and retouching. So make sure you like, you subscribe, and to share this video to help this channel grow. Before we get into the video, let me share a bit about the inspiration behind this series of showing behind the scenes. As I was doing the research for this shoot, I came across great and helpful channels, and I thought, what if I could create great content, may it be videos, may it be photography, using very cheap and affordable cameras. And so I was inspired to start this series where I create great content using very cheap and affordable equipments. My hope and my dreams for this channel is that I can inspire creators, photographers, and maybe filmmakers out there who do not have these high-end cameras and lights, but they can use what they have to produce and create great content. A little background about this shoot: we had planned to do this shoot earlier on the year, and it was not possible because of busy schedules. So when I saw my friend had this hair which could make great portrait, I told her we need to get a day that we can shoot and create good portraits. It was urgent, there was not much preparation, but we managed to get the best out of the shoot. Here is some of the equipments that I used. I used entry-level Nikon D5200. It is so cheap and affordable that Nikon has discontinued this line of D5200, but you can get it on Amazon and other camera sites for as low as $319. That is around 32k Kenyan shillings. For my trigger, I used Yongnuo wireless release shutter trigger, which is around $38. That is around 4k Kenya shillings. I had two Yongnuo speed lights. Speed lights are very cheap, and each goes as low as $85. That is around 8k 500 Kenya shillings. And for the lens, I used Nikon 50mm 1.8. Which when paired with the Nikon D5200, which has a crop factor of 1.5, it will give me around 75mm, which is a good focal length for portrait. For additional gear, I had a silver umbrella which had diffusion, and it gave me that soft key light. The other speed light, I used it for backlight or fill light, and it was mostly harsh lighting. I also had a red gel which I sometimes used on the hard light speed lights. Other than that, I had my 5-in-1 reflector which I used to bounce, to fill, and sometimes use the black part as the backdrop. So that is the gear that I had for the shoot. To get great results, I had to use a combination of lighting, posing, composition, props and costume, and a bit of editing and retouch. When I was going for the shoot, I did not know the clothes, the costume that she had, but on arrival, I was able to go through them and think of how I can use some of them to create great portraits. For the first shoot, she had this green hood, which, as you know, green complements red. So I thought of using the red gel to complement the green hood. We had some of the props like pen, lollipop, glasses, book, and we played with them. It was a lot of trials and error to see which worked and which one did not. We also had a scene where she was blowing bubble gum, but it was not as we wanted, so we went on to the next shoot. So here are some of the photos from the first shoot. So for the second shoot, she had this dress which had some pink color, but it was not vibrant. When I saw it first, the first thing I thought of doing was doing some silhouette with it. I placed the umbrella, which had a speed light for my key light on the front, and on back I used a continuous LED lighting, which again is very cheap. It's a security light, but I thought of using it. Again with the dress, I let her lie down on this soft carpet that she had, and I was able to get a few shots of her laid down. I also used the gel on the speed light, but this time it was more of the key light. I also saw this beautiful scarf, and I thought of using it to get a detailed shot, and this is the shot that I got. After that, she changed to a white dress, and she had this idea of using fruits as props, and I thought it was a great idea. So it gave me the vibes of the old school type, where women used to wear long dresses and they were out in the field picking fruits and so on. And so I thought of creating that, and for that we added few props, a yellow cushion, some jar of water. Some of the shots she was eating the fruit, and other she was posing for the pictures. On the white dress, I used my umbrella as the key light, and I placed the speed light with gel on the side to give me a side light or the fill light. The next idea did not work out. She had this yellow dera, and so we took a few pictures of it, and then we moved on to the next one. We then moved on to the next scene. We wanted to use sweater in this scene. On one shot, she was leaning on the counter, on the kitchen counter, and I only used the key light, the umbrella key light. I wanted the window to be the backlight, and also when I composed the shot, it would be in the frame, and it would add to their portrait. And so here's one of just the key light and the window's backlight. Then I added flash on the side to get the red fill light. Lastly, I had her sit on the floor. I used the umbrella as the key light and the flash with the gel as backlight. We also used the glasses for props and the sweater to give us this look. Here are the photos. Some of the challenges that I had is that the place that we were using for the shoot was small, and so we could not get a lot of dynamic shots, especially where we wanted depth of field. I also used my reflector, the black side, as our backdrop on some scenes, but it was not big enough. So in Photoshop I was able to fill the spaces. Lastly, on editing, this is what I did. I shot all the pictures on RAW so I could get some playground when it comes to editing. So I first did my basic editing on Lightroom. Then after that, I selected a few shots which I took to Photoshop where I did my retouching. So for the retouch of these photos, I started with frequency separation. Then after frequency separation, I did a little bit of dodge and burn, but I used curves, not as people always do. For color grading, I used selective color, color balance, and channel mixer. And then after that, I press Ctrl Alt Shift E to create a layer, which I then take to Camera Raw. In Camera Raw, I do some color grading, and then I do the eye whitening and the teeth whitening. So that is my creative process. I hope with time I can do some retouching tutorials of how I got the end results. I hope this video would encourage you to go out there and create great portraits with whatever you have. May it be your phone camera, may it be a cheap camera. What you need is just a friend who is willing. The location doesn't matter much. And just to get it out there, my friend is not a professional model. It's that I thought of using her to show you how you can get great portraits with your friends. You can use skills like lighting, posing, props and costume, and you'll be amazed by the great results that you would get. So make sure you like, subscribe, and you share this video if you find it helpful. Bye.